What's up? I'm Lily. Revenge Crown brings you the stories that keep you hooked. If that sounds good, smash subscribe and let's go. The words hung in the air like smoke after a fire. My sister Amber sat across from me at Mom's dining table, her perfectly manicured nails drumming against her wine glass. She just announced she was quitting her marketing job to explore her creative passions. Translation: she wanted to spend 6 months doing yoga and posting inspirational quotes on Instagram while someone else paid her bills. Sarah will help you transition, Mom said, not asking, just stating it as fact. She looked at me with that expression I'd seen my entire life, the one that said I existed to make things easier for everyone else. Dad nodded from his seat at the head of the table. That's what family does. Sarah's always been good with money anyway. Might as well put it to use, my brother-in-law Derek smirked. Must be nice having a sister with a steady paycheck. Amber deserves this break after everything she's done. I took a sip of water. Of course, I said quietly. Whatever you need. Amber's face lit up. I knew you'd understand. I've already given my 2 weeks' notice. My last paycheck hits Friday, and then I'm free. You can just handle my rent, car payment, credit cards, the usual. Maybe $4,000 a month. I'll send you a budget breakdown. Sounds reasonable, I replied, my voice steady. Mom reached over and squeezed my hand. See, this is why family is everything. Sarah knows how to support the people she loves. After dinner, I drove home to my modest apartment across town. Not the trendy loft Amber rented downtown. Not the suburban house Mom and Dad had bought 3 years ago when they decided to downsize from the family home. ID actually paid off. Just a simple 1-bedroom with good light and thick walls where nobody could hear me think. I sat at my kitchen table and opened my laptop. The Excel spreadsheet I'd been maintaining for 4 years and 7 months filled the screen. Every transaction highlighted in yellow. Every transfer documented with dates, amounts, and account numbers. Amber's rent, $2,200 monthly. Total paid, $112,200. Amber's car lease, $547 monthly. Total paid, $30,119. Amber's credit cards, average $800 monthly. Total paid, $44,800. Mom and Dad's mortgage, irregular contributions totaling $18,500. Mom's car payment when she forgot, twice, $1,340. Various emergencies and loans, $6,890. Grand. Total, $147,849. Every single dollar from accounts they thought they controlled, but I'd actually owned the entire time. Joint accounts I opened when I turned 18 because Mom said it would teach me responsibility and help the family manage money together. Accounts I funded with every paycheck from my software engineering job while they made withdrawals for their lifestyle upgrades. The beautiful thing about joint accounts is that any account holder can freeze them. No permission needed. No explanation required. I picked up my phone and started making calls. The first call went to my lawyer, Marcus Chun, whom I'd retained 2 months ago when Amber first mentioned she was thinking about taking a break from the corporate grind. Marcus, it's Sarah. Tomorrow morning at 9:47. I want every account locked. All of them?
He asked, though we'd rehearsed this conversation 3 times.
Every single one. I'll be at the bank when they open. I need you there too. I'll bring the documentation. Are you sure you're ready for this? I looked at the spreadsheet at 4 years and 7 months of being invisible except when someone needed money. I've never been more sure of anything. The second call went to my bank manager, Patricia Okoye, who'd helped me understand my rights when I first explained the situation. Patricia, tomorrow at opening, I need to execute the account freeze and transfer my funds to the new accounts we discussed. I'll have everything prepared, she said. Her voice was warm, professional, reassuring. Sarah, I want you to know you're doing the right thing. I've seen too many situations like this. It never gets better until someone sets a boundary. The third call went to my therapist, Dr. Reeves, leaving a voicemail. I'm doing it tomorrow. I'll probably need an emergency session this week. Then I sat in the quiet of my apartment, listening to the hum of the refrigerator, feeling the weight of what I was about to do. Not guilt, I'd examined my conscience 1,000 times. Just anticipation. The way you feel before a storm you've been watching build on the horizon finally arrives. I slept better than I had in months. At 9:47 a.m. exactly, I sat in Patricia's office at Commerce Bank while she processed the paperwork. Marcus sat beside me, his briefcase open, every document organized in color-coded folders. All joint accounts frozen as of this timestamp, Patricia said, typing. Funds in accounts where you're the primary holder have been transferred to your new individual accounts. The co-holders will be unable to access or transfer any funds. What happened? Not until I'm ready. Marcus pulled out a document. I've prepared a cease and desist letter for any harassment. If the calls become excessive or threatening, we can pursue a restraining order. I've also documented every transaction as potential financial exploitation should you need it for legal proceedings. My phone buzzed at 10:15 a.m. Amber. I let it ring. Another buzz at 10:22 a.m. Mom. 10:31 a.m. Dad. 10:47 a.m. Amber again. I silenced my phone and walked out of the bank with my new account numbers, my documentation, and Marcus's business card in my purse. The spring air felt crisp, clean. I bought a coffee from the shop on the corner, the expensive kind. I usually skip because I was saving money, and drove to my office. My coworker Janet noticed immediately. You look different today. New haircut? I offered. No, you look lighter, like you're not carrying something heavy anymore. I smiled and logged into my computer. My silenced phone lit up continuously on my desk. By lunch, 15 calls. By the time I left work at 5:30 p.m., 37 calls and 23 text messages. I read them at a coffee shop 3 blocks from my apartment, sitting by the window where I could watch the street. Amber, 2:17 p.m. Sarah, my rent payment bounced. Call me ASAP. This is urgent. Mom, 2:33 p.m. Your sister's landlord called. What's going on? Call me immediately. Amber, 2:41 p.m. Are you serious right now? My card declined at Whole Foods. Fix this. Dad, 3:15 p.m. Sarah, your mother and I need to speak with you about a family matter. This is not acceptable behavior. Amber, 4:02 p.m. I called the bank. They said the account is frozen. Call me right now. Derek, 4:34 p.m. What the hell is wrong with you? Your sister is crying. Fix whatever you did. Mom, 5:11 p.m. I don't know what's gotten into you, but this is not how we raised you. Family doesn't abandon family. I sipped my latte and felt nothing but quiet relief. The next morning, I turned my phone back on at 8 a.m. 47 missed calls. 61 text messages. 3 voicemails from numbers I didn't recognize, probably Amber calling from friends' phones. At 9:15 a.m., my phone rang. Commerce Bank. I answered. Miss Patterson? This is Patricia Okoye. I wanted to inform you that we've had multiple inquiries about the accounts we discussed yesterday. Your mother, sister, and brother-in-law all came to the branch this morning, and I personally explained that all accounts were legally owned by you as the primary account holder, and that you've exercised your right to freeze and restructure them. Your mother insisted there must be some mistake. Your sister became quite loud. How did they respond when you showed them the documentation? Patricia's voice carried a note of satisfaction. Your sister went pale when I showed her the transaction history. 4 years and 7 months of deposits from your account, withdrawals to hers. All highlighted in yellow, exactly as you prepared it. She said, but I thought it was family money. I said, no, ma'am, it was Miss Patterson's money. She was generous enough to share it. Thank you, Patricia. Your mother tried to argue that joint accounts meant equal ownership. I explained that joint ownership means equal access, not equal contribution. When your mother asked if there was any way to contest this, I said she was welcome to consult a lawyer, but that everything was documented and legal. After we hung up, I finally listened to the voicemails. Amber's voice, shaking. Sarah, I don't understand what's happening. The bank said you own everything. But Mom set up those accounts for both of us. That's not fair. I need that money. My rent is due. Call me back right now. Mom's voice, cold. Sarah Marie Patterson, I don't know what you think you're doing, but this is cruel and vindictive. Your sister needs you. Your father and I raised you better than this. You call me back today or there will be consequences. Dad's voice, disappointed. Your mother is very upset. Amber is very upset. I'm very disappointed in you, Sarah. Whatever point you're trying to make, you've made it. Now fix this and stop being petty. I deleted all 3 and went to work. By the end of day 2, 92 calls and texts. I finally responded with a single group text to Mom, Dad, and Amber at 8:47 p.m. I will not be covering anyone's expenses moving forward. All accounts were legally mine. I have documentation of every transaction. If you need to discuss this further, please contact my lawyer. I included Marcus's email address. My phone exploded immediately. I turned it off and went to bed. The next week unfolded like dominoes falling in slow motion. Amber's landlord called my number, which she apparently given as an emergency contact, and I referred him to Amber's cell phone. Her gym membership canceled. Her streaming subscription stopped. Derek's text became increasingly hostile until Marcus sent him a formal cease and desist letter. Mom called my office. My receptionist informed her I wasn't taking personal calls. She showed up at my apartment building, but I'd already notified security that I wasn't receiving visitors. Through the camera intercom, I watched her press my buzzer 17 times before finally leaving. Dad sent one final text. You've chosen money over family. Don't expect us to be here when you realize your mistake. I didn't respond. The extended family found out within 2 weeks. My Aunt Carol, Mom's sister, called from a number I didn't recognize. I answered out of curiosity. Sarah? It's Aunt Carol. Your mother told me what happened. I just wanted to say good for you. I nearly dropped my phone. What? Honey, I've watched Linda and your father treat you like an ATM since you got that tech job. I've watched Amber coast through life while you worked yourself to exhaustion. Someone needed to stop enabling them. I'm proud of you. Mom said I abandoned the family. Carol laughed, sharp and knowing. Your mother said you stole Amber's money. I asked her whose name was on the accounts. She couldn't answer. That told me everything I needed to know. Other relatives reached out. Some supported Mom, some supported me, most stayed strategically silent. I didn't need their validation anymore. I'd hired Marcus. I'd frozen the accounts. I'd walked away. Their opinions were just noise. 1 month after the freeze, I sat in Dr. Reeves's office for my regular session. How are you feeling? She asked. Quiet, I said. My phone doesn't ring anymore. No emergency texts. No guilt trips. Just ... Is that uncomfortable? I thought about it. At first, yes. I kept waiting for the panic. The guilt. The feeling that I'd done something terrible. But it never came. Why do you think that is? Because I didn't do anything terrible. I stopped doing something exhausting, Dr. Reeves smiled. Tell me about your life now. I booked a vacation. Nothing extravagant, just a week in Colorado. Hiking, reading. I've never taken a real vacation before. I was always saving money. I used air quotes. Saving it so Amber could spend it, apparently. How are your finances? My savings account is growing for the first time in 4 years. I'm putting away $3,200 a month now that I'm not funding someone else's lifestyle. Patricia helped me set up automatic investments. I'm on track to retire 5 years earlier than I planned. And your family? Silent. Completely silent. I looked out the window at the gray afternoon. Amber's LinkedIn says she got a new job. Manager position at a tech startup. Apparently, she found herself pretty quickly when the money ran out. Mom and Dad are fine. They're both still working. They still have their house. Nobody actually needed me. They just like the convenience. How does that make you feel? Free, I said, and meant it. 3 months after the freeze, I got one final message. From Amber. I talked to a therapist. She said I should reach out, not to ask for money, just to say I'm sorry. I didn't realize how much you were carrying. I thought it was just what sisters did. I was wrong. I don't expect you to forgive me. But I wanted you to know I'm working now. I'm paying my own bills. And I'm sorry. I read it 3 times. Looked for the manipulation, the angle, the request buried in the apology. Found nothing but exhaustion and something that might have been genuine regret. I didn't respond. Not because I was cruel, but because I didn't owe her absolution. Maybe someday we'd have coffee and talk like adults. Maybe not. Either way, I was okay. I opened my banking app and looked at my savings balance. $47,293. All mine, growing every month. I'd booked the Colorado trip, upgraded my laptop, started taking a pottery class on Thursday evenings just because it sounded interesting. My phone stayed quiet. My calendar was mine. My money was mine. My life was mine. And for the first time in 4 years and 7 months, I didn't feel guilty about any of it. I closed my laptop and looked around my modest apartment, the one I'd chosen, the one I paid for, the one nobody else had a key to. The evening light filtered through the windows. In the silence, I could hear myself think. It sounded like peace,